using both literature and a survey of 50 adults aged 18 to 50 who had taken antidepressants. The aim was to explore how the type and severity of side effects influence patient adherence. Using a simple three-step methodology, first I started by writing a literature review of the biological mechanisms and side effects from clinical data sources like WHO and NHS. Then I designed an anonymous Google Forms survey with ethical safeguards. I collected information on which antidepressant class people used, side effects experienced, and whether they discontinued them and why. For my final step, I combined both the data sets to see patterns between biological mechanisms and patient behavior. Can you scroll down a bit, please? This table shows what I found. So it's the class of antidepressants, the adherence rate, the main side effect reported, and the discontinuation rate. The main takeaways from this is adherence decreases as side effects become more lifestyle limiting. SSRIs had the highest adherence at 75%, despite multiple people reporting emotional numbness and blunting. People tolerate them because they reduce depressive symptoms effectively with relatively less side effects. SNRIs had moderate adherence, and patients appreciated the mood boost provided by it, but often discontinued them due to dizziness and nausea. TCAs and MAOIs had the lowest adherence due to the heavy side effects and dietary rules. MAOIs especially were difficult to tolerate as they only had a 20% adherence. This is due to many biological mechanisms behind these patterns. In SSRIs and SNRIs, the increase in serotonin and norepinephrine for SNRIs improve the mood, but the high serotonin can often cause emotional blunting, gastric issues, and sexual dysfunction. For TCAs, they block serotonin, norepinephrine, histamine, and muscarinic receptors, causing drowsiness, cognitive slowing, and heart risks associated with it. For MAOIs, they inhibit monoamine oxidase enzymes, reducing the neurotransmitter levels, but they require strict diets to prevent hypotensive crisis. For NASSAs, they block certain serotonin receptors and histamine receptors, but they improve sleep, but stimulate an appetite causing weight gain. These results revealed a paradox. People continued the medicines with uncomfortable side effects if they perceived clear emotional relief, but quit when the side effects interfered with their daily lives or identities, causing side effects such as weight gain, emotional blunting, or sexual dysfunction. A key insight was that patients who received counseling about side effects were 40% more likely to stay on treatment as they knew about the side effects and could prepare themselves accordingly. This showed that adherence is not just a medical issue, but also a great communicational issue. Leading to the future solutions of personalized medicine, genetic testing like the CYP450 metabolizer tests can help predict what drug suits each person and can map out the side effects that a person can face. Alternative treatments, such as psilocybin-assisted treatment for fewer-longing side effects, or alternatively DTMS, can also provide exceptional results. Lastly, what was highlighted throughout this was that patient education was extremely important, as 40% of patients who received counseling about the side effects before they started treatment were likely to stay on the treatment regardless of the side effects they faced. This is because they could prepare adequately for the side effects and it didn't come as a shock to them. Depression affects over 280 million people worldwide, and yet non-adherence remains one of the biggest obstacles to recovery. This project connects biology with real human experience, showing that mental health care must move from trial and error to more personalized and compassionate medicine that also takes account the patient's side effects into consideration.